Could you guys hear me? YouTube land. Trying to use my camera and it's not working as usual. Hold on 1 second here. There we go. Should be working. Could you guys hear me? Anybody out there?
CS long validation.
Thank you, NGO. I'll be back in a minute after this disclaimer stuff.
Risk disclosure statement. There is a risk of loss in trading stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, derivatives, options, forex, and cryptocurrencies. This risk can be substantial and therefore investors should carefully consider their financial suitability prior to trading. Past performance is not indicative of future performance. The software, strategies, chat rooms, websites, and any associated websites or digital venues are for educational purposes only and should not be construed as an express or implied promise or guarantee that you will profit by losses any limited in any manner whatsoever. Users of the information accept sole responsibility for the outcomes of their deployment in Old Staples Trader, LLC, and any associated companies, agents, management, owners, and customers farmers without reservation. Please trade responsibly. Commodity Futures Trading Commission, CFTC, Rule 4.41, hypothetical and simulated trading performance results have certain inherent limitations, some of which are described herein. No representation is being made that any accountable is likely to achieve profits or losses similar to those shown. In fact, there are frequently sharp differences between hypothetical or simulated performance results and the actual results subsequently achieved by any particular trading program. One of the limitations of hypothetical performance results is that they are generally prepared with the benefit of hindsight. In addition, hypothetical trading does not involve financial risk, and no hypothetical trading record can completely account for the impact of financial risk in actual trading. For example, the ability to withstand losses or adhere to a particular trading program in spite of trading losses or material points which can also adversely affect actual trading results. Because these trades have not actually been executed, the hypothetical results may amount or overcompensated for the impact, if any, of certain market factors such as lack of liquidity. There are numerous other factors related to the markets in general or to the implementation of any specific trading program which cannot be fully accounted for in simulated trading or in the preparation of hypothetical performance results at all, of which can adversely affect actual trading results.
All right, good morning. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice for the last couple of days here.
According to IFX.
All right, nothing's really going on right now. There was
According to IFX, citing the Kremlin, there are no plans to sign documents on the outcome of the Russia-US summit.
PPI earlier and initial jobless claims. Market got smoked, recovering as usual. The old bungee jump, as my old mentor Tom Alexander used to say. There was a stop run here. I didn't do anything with this at the time. This was not in any of my areas, so the way I trade is I'm looking for the driver of my trading are these stop iceberg events, which are the most powerful thing I've ever seen in my career, 25-year career. And then I look for those events in my important areas, and those are what comprise my strategies. And then I have rules for taking these trades, entry, exit, so on and so forth. So we have position trades that we take looking for bigger moves, and then we have reversion trades that play back to these volume events with ridiculous regularity. So we got something in gold here, maybe taking a sexy Gexy here. You can see this is a stop run right into these major Gex levels here. As long as there's no heavy relative volume, I will take this trade. So this is one of the only trades that I will hop in the middle of the zone or outside of it, like into this Gex level. So I'll watch this here for a second. Let me I gotta get this into micro form. So the zone drawing tool tells you the sizing that you can put on based on your risk, and obviously the entries, exits, so on and so forth. So I'm not going to jump in right here. If it comes down and tags this Gex 4, I'll get in, and then the stop's literally right here. So this is one of the only trades that I will take in the middle of the zone. Most of my trades, almost all my trades, I will wait for confirmation out of the zone. You know, and I know you risk-reward traders cringe at that, but again, I would love to hop in every trade and have the best risk-reward right in the middle of the zone, but I learned the hard way after trading these things for 8 years. It's not the best trade in the middle of the zone or right when it breaks it. If you force the market to push the ATR plus out of the zone, the 5-minute ATR, it's a much more higher probability trade. Speaking of which, let me get these on here real quick. Let's see what I'm talking about. So this is the zone drawing prices stuff. I'll bring it up here. So you can see current ATR is 43.8, so it means it's rotating about 44 points every 5 minutes. Very important. All right, so we're into these levels. I'm going to give this a shot here. If it starts to bounce back above the X4, I'll give it a shot. But the relative volume is picking up. So one of my disqualifiers for this is called the Sexy Gexy, where I'm looking for these iceberg events, opposing iceberg events into these Gex levels, because I know that options dealers are going to be hedging here. So all right, so I'm not going to take that now because sell ice is coming in. But the point is, I already know these options dealers are going to be hedging. Are they the only entity in the market? No, it could blow right through here. But if relative volume is stable, meaning under 200%, I'll take them. Otherwise, I don't take them, because if relative volume is coming in, it usually means the bigger money's playing, and they will blow. Even though these guys are hedging, it usually will blow right through here. So I don't take them. I was going to take it off of this one. I got sell ice here, so I don't want to take a Sexy Gexy long here, hoping for dealer reaction when I got someone big selling, a big entity is selling right here. So if I would have gotten buy ice, I would have taken it. So there's no trade there as far as the Sexy Gexy, but position trading, there are a couple different trades here. One, I have a reversion, A plus reversion, so the reversion. So again, when you look at all this stuff on the chart, it looks like I've got a million things on here. And it's very complicated. It's not very complicated. This is all very simplistic stuff once you know what you're looking at. I'm sick of the Twitter comments out there. Oh, there's just so much on your chart. It's not possible to trade. This is very, very simplistic stuff, guys. All you're looking at is the volume event. The entry is the blue line. If I take long, position trading long along to the upside, short this way. I mean, this is to confirm whether it's long or short for most of my trades. This is to confirm whether it's short for most of my trades. And then if I get in, I'm getting in just outside of an ATR. Again, this is all by trial and error. Then I have reversion trades that I take for the move back to the zone. So in this case, this is an A plus reversion because it is a move, one ATR reversion, which I have in front of the ATR, because I always love to snap it back in front of the ATR. It's also in a prior event, and I posted one on Twitter yesterday. This was a doozy. Worked awesome. Can be an example of that trade. Of course, I lost my chart on my screen. Hold on here. All right, Trump's chirping per usual here, so all bets are usually off. Oh, by the way, I'm doing a webinar with Austin from ASFX tomorrow. Follow him on Twitter, and he's going to be broadcasting that live. So we're going to kind of meld what he's doing, and I'm going to show him some things, and I want to learn what he's doing too, because I'm always open to, other strategies that I may not be aware of. Doesn't mean I just implement stuff in my trading on a whim, but you always have to be willing to evolve in your trading. So I'm always open to. Most of the stuff I hear out there is nonsense, but there are some good educators out there. All right, why can't I find this? Right here. So this was yesterday's. This was in Russell. So the reversion works ridiculous. I could show you like 5 of them today already that worked. But it's even better when the entry is in a prior event. Why? Because there's traders in here caught. That's what this is showing us. That's what we're taking advantage of. Concentrations of traders that are one out when the market comes back. So whoever was buying or selling in here, especially the sell ice, right? When the market moved away from them immediately. When the market comes back, they want the hell out. That helps propel it to the zone. On top of the algo's already bringing it back to the volume event. So that's why it's called A+. So I'm going to take this one in gold potentially. So this is so what you're seeing here is the sizing. So I'm risking $500 per trade. If I'm taking position trades, meaning I'm entering here, exiting here. If I was taking a long, I can put on 0.4 to risk $500. For my reversion trades, I could put on more because here's the entry, that's the dotted line, the dashed dotted line is the exit. So from here to here is risking $500. So I could put on 9 micros, which I will do if this pops up here. So entries there, stops here. So this is the reversion trade. I have 3 distinct trades that I take. I will post This is on my Twitter page as well, but I won't, or X, whatever it's called now, X. But I will post this link in the room. This is everything I use in my trading. Right, so this is, this is the foundation. These are the SI indicator, the 6 distinct setups I look for in important areas. My important areas are my trading strategies. And then we have the ATR reversion, which is just a distinct type of trade. It's more of a scalp. Again, scalping is how I made my millions of dollars back in the day. I don't do it. It's probably for a reason I don't do it, because it's extremely, extremely difficult. So this is the best. The ATR reversion is the best form of a scalp that I know of in trying to fight these algos or play with these algos. All right. So there's another. So technically, I'm not supposed to take this reversion, A+ reversion, because it's supposed to be the prior event. So we just had more come in. I mean, I'm going to combine these, so I'll still take them. You got to use some judgment on whether you're going to combine this stuff, right? This is very likely the same house. I don't like combining if it's like 5-10 minutes apart, but I mean, this is pretty much right in the same area. So you see there's sell ice that came in there. 410, which is a lot. Threshold for this market is 150. What's threshold? It means a meaningful amount of volume to trade, right? So I don't just trade every blip on this thing. If it's threshold, and I've also gathered that information from watching these things for 8 years, meaning a relative, what's the most tradable amount, or that makes a difference in these markets. If I get the thresholds, then I trade them. If I don't, I don't, right? So in this zone drawing tool will draw the thresholds for you. And this is customizable too. I don't recommend going off my thresholds until you watch about 40 million of these things. You can do whatever you want. But from my experience from these markets, like 150 is threshold in gold. So anyway, we got, that's 600. What did I just fill there? All right, I'm long crude, by the way, too. I'll go over here in a second. So this is working. We may be able to put on some position trades here, so I'll come back here in a second. I'm short Russell, and I'm long crude. I just got long crude here. So crude, I put this in X yesterday as well. So this stuff is I'm a day trader, right? So I mean, I'm rarely holding stuff overnight or taking bigger positions, but the information you can glean from what's going on from day to day can help you in bigger picture trades, right? So, of course, I lost that chart. Hold on here. All right, Trump's talking right now, guys. So, so I put in yesterday. Right here, this was when it was trading right around 62, closed right around 62.70. Keeping an eye on CL over the next few days for a possible recovery after the extended move down over the last week. Nothing but buy icebergs throughout the day, then bouncing off the Mentor Q put support, right? So it was telling you as it came down here, it was buy ice, that's the stuff down here. And then the real selling wasn't big money, like you're seeing in gold right now. The sell icebergs coming in, there was no sell icebergs. It was just puke. These are sell stops. Puke, puke, puke. So usually pukes are retail traders, right? So that's not initiative selling. That's guys getting out of position. So all this helped me form a thesis of this may be heading higher going into today, because someone just kept buying it the whole way down. It wasn't real selling, and it bounced off a major gamma level, right, where options dealers are hedging. So then fast forward today, now looky, who knew? So this is what I mean, guys. Like, you guys can be traders, profitable traders, not using this information, but you just don't have all the information, right? If you were looking to go long down here, wouldn't it help you with decision making if you saw it was nothing but bias this whole way down and then closed here and gaps up? So anyway, on to the real time stuff. That was a balance area yesterday that it broke down from, came back through here. What was that? I just filled on that gold. So I'm taking this reversion trade with Trump talking. I usually say don't take trades when Trump's talking, but he's always talking. So you might as well just put him on. Or some Fed guy's always talking, or there's a tariff headline. So that's just the new normal. So I took this trade, but if I get blown out of it, at least I know why. This is the A+ reversion in here. Go back to crude. Anyway, I'm looking for this is one of my trading strategies. So this is what my course is based off of. Yes, he's starting to rip. He's saying something that gold likes. Anyway, The trade I'm taking here, I just took in here in crude, was a fail balance breakout long. So again, these are what all my trading strategies are. These are the important areas I look for. The stop iceberg events. That's what the course is based off of, right? The course is based off of this, I should say. Fail balance breakout, breakdown in this case. Fail break of longer term balance, hourly chart with market share. Was back to the balance area, high volume node. Trades are taken aggressively in the first SI event to the high volume node, right? So that was this balance from yesterday. It kind of already did it before there was an event, right? It already got through there, but it just came back now. So I took an Izzy long inflection zone that I draw in these four important areas of charting. We'll get into that, but there was a stop run into there, and I took the FBB. This isn't the way you usually want to take an FBB, fail balance breakout. You want to take it as it's busting through the high volume node, right? So it does one of these. I'll show you actually one I have out on Russell here in a second. And then you get an event, and then you take it. You don't usually take it coming back, right? You don't really want to see it coming back, but I took this just because of my thesis. I am short in FBB, fail balance breakout to the upside. In Russell, this was a tiny balance, but I was willing to give it a shot. That's only 3 bars, so 3 hours of balance yesterday. Here's your attempted breakout, got back through into the number. There was a buy ice event that proved bearish. And I actually didn't put this on right away, but it never, this event, so this was the buy ice event after the numbers, right? Someone came in here and tried to buy. Not working out real well for them yet. Hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully they get crushed because I'm short. Anyway, it never validated to the long side. I missed it here. I just wasn't watching it, and then it came back and I got in. So I'm currently short that. This is where I entered the position trades. My exit's up here. The reason I do that helps keep me out of Algoville. You see all this liquidity in here, pulling and putting in, pulling. The spoofing, that's supposed to be illegal. Well, when nothing's going on, like right now, this is when the algos whipsaw you to death. So if I'm going to be wrong on this trade, I force the market, I fill there, I force it to come all the way back in ATR, get through the volume event where there's trapped traders that won out when it comes back. As you can see, it did there and there. Then I force it to push a full ATR out of the zone to stop me out. So that's how I trade. Again, it erodes my risk reward. I'm fully aware, but my position sizing adjusts to that. I have just watched too many of these. It's the best way to trade them, position trading. I do have a couple strategies where I'll jump into the middle of the zone, but for the most part, I'm waiting for those things to happen to enter my trade. So anyway, I'm short Russell. It's just sitting here. We got Fed talks too, Fed chirpers. Yeah, so we got Fed and Trump talking right now. So, and this is why you don't take trades when those guys are talking. Now, this A plus reversion is going to get blown out of the water. But, you know, again, they're talking nonstop, so you might as well just trade these days. In the old days, I'd be like, all bets are off, I'm not trading. Some guys in my trade room, like yesterday, Dune Runner, one of the top traders in my room, like said, Trump's talking, all trades are off, right? So it's not a bad idea, but again, he's always talking. So what you're not just supposed not to trade? I mean, that's just, you got to make a decision there. Anyway, I took this reversion. This was a long setup, and I actually wanted to come back here and see if there was any trading strategy to go long. This was an Izzy zone, right? So my inflection zones that I draw, the 4 important areas of charting, tops and bottoms of balance areas, high volume nodes of balance areas, directional conviction, and buying and selling tails. So that's how I draw those zones. I put them up every day for my trade room, like 15 different markets. Anyway, we got a volume event and an inflection zone. I will take this. I will tell you this market does not look bullish at all, but I'm a day trader. This is a bullish event. I'll take that trade if it comes back here, like right here. So this is an Izzy long. So you see, I'm going to be long one strategy, and I'm short the. Hold on here, gold. Don't be running away on me. All right, chased it up a smidge, and I traded too many, of course. All right, so I'm short the reversion. I'm long the Izzy trade, right? And see if there's anything else here I could have taken. So these are my important areas that I'm looking for trades. That guy's still chirping too, by the way. Nothing on the market profile, so I have a pick trade. So these are all trades that I'm taking. I've already taken that trade today. profiles encourages looking for a stop iceberg event at the top or bottom of balance area, or market profile composites. And I've taken it. I just took the Izzy, right? I haven't taken a Barker lick yet. We'll go over these trades as they come up. But this is what the trading strategies course is. It's showing you these different areas that I look for the stop iceberg events. So again, I put that in there.
TS long pre-tested.
All right, so I'm long gold Izzy. I'm short the reversion, right? Oh, so what I was saying here is overall, thesis-wise, if I get a bearish event, I'm going to be trading double size to the short side. I'm a day trader. I got an event. It's long. I'm long. But this market should have ripped off the page yesterday. That's a failed balance breakdown. So many, many times when a market, and I'm going to show you one that was a whopper, what it should do. So what market should do, here's an example. This is Russell. The other day we actually caught this. Dune Runner caught it and I got in it. I didn't actually see it at the time because he's my teacher's pet. Anyway, this is the epitome of a failed balance. This is what it should do. Balance. Balance are just two-sided trades where traders are placing bets. The shorts think they got it. Comes back, builds more balance, rips out of there. So you had a breaking out of balance here and you had a failed balance breakdown there. So when markets get through the high volume node, you can take the trade with a bullish stop iceberg. So this is what markets should do when they have failed balance breakdowns. Should rip just like that, right? What they shouldn't do is what you're seeing here in gold. And this is why I'm bearish this if I get a bearish event. This is on a smaller scale. It's the same stuff. It's all fractal. Balance breaks down. Gets through the high volume node. This should have done that. Why did it do that? Why did it build more balance? And we're down here now, right? So again,
CL long pre-tested.
so I just feel, I think I just stopped out of gold. All right, stopped out of that reversion, but I am long Izzy. And I'll watch like X1 up here to, and I can still take reversion trades off of this too. We'll go over that, but I stopped out of that. And again, I'm trading with Trump and a Fed dude talking. All right, so anyway, overall though, this market should have ripped yesterday. It should not be back here. If I get a bearish event, I'm going to trade double size. Right now it's holding. It's putting in a buying tail too. Granted, the hour is not done, but it's holding for now. If this comes back and I get a bearish event, I'm going to trade double size because this should have done that. Instead it built balance and got back to the high volume node and now it's down here. So I'm long, but I will take double size shorts if those appear. And I'm going to watch the GEX. Oh, by the way, here's your reversion trades. Surprise, surprise. I didn't take this one because I don't like the easy winners. I like the one that get blown out when guys are talking. Anyway, here's your 1. Here's your 2. You don't get stopped. This is the stop for the 1. This is the stop for the 2. You get the 2 on, the 1 on, back to the zone. If you're taking them aggressively. What's aggressively mean? Meaning as the market moves into them, you take them. I don't take them aggressively very often, especially on webinars because I can't keep up with them. I look for the back in blacks where I wait for a bounce off something and I take them backdoor style and back to the zone, right? Gosh, just Gabe's talking. So guys, this is what I'm trading through, right? It's like, but it's nonstop. It's every day. It's the same stuff every single day. Right here, Venezuela. And he's saying Trump's talking right here. There's Trump. It's just, it's just non-stop every single day. I posted, actually, this is pretty funny. This was on Zero Hedge the other day. And this is exactly what it is. Let's see if I can find it. You guys have that article, put it in the guys in my trade room. So I don't have to sit here and scroll for it, but it's definitely worth looking at least get a laugh. Keep yourself sane. Hold on. I think it was Monday. So this is my trade room, Discord trade room. It's where live do the live trading, and then I want people posting their trades. What day was that? You guys have that article posted away if you can find it. It's just you got to see it. It's makes you giggle when you feel like punching your screen all day long. It'll at least make you giggle. Let's see. Nobody has it in my room. Anybody help me out? I can't find it now. Of of course. So if someone finds it, post it, will you, so we can get a laugh. Oh, this was funny yesterday, too. So the market's whipsawed in this. Norway Finance Minister, we will not have any talks with the U.S. at any price. 1 minute later, Norway Finance Minister, Norway and U.S. talks about tariffs are continuing. This is the kind of stuff we're trading through, guys. It's ridiculous. It is, and it's affecting the markets every time something like that comes out. So that's what I'm trying to get at. I want to find this article. One more look. Could someone please scroll up for me and post it, repost it? Please, begging you. Someone in my trade room. Unless everybody's just sleeping. Here it is, right here. Thanks, by the way. Thanks, trade room. Appreciate it. Thanks for the help. Right here. Every effing day, bro. A glimpse in the life of a hedge fund manager, which is basically the same as a retail trader, right? And this is why, Spot Gamma's come out to say that we're at all-time low liquidity. And the reason is because the big money gets run over just like we do with the ridiculousness. So this is it. Wake up. Check what Trump tariffed overnight. Cambodia up 200%. Brew some coffee. Trump tweets. The laws are rigged. He cannot tariff Arizona. Check what happened in Asia and Europe. Trump announces hot dogs will join the food pair. So obviously this is a spoof, but this is very close to what really goes on. It's insanity. And you got to deal with it. So I got a laugh out of it anyway. Again, thanks. Props to my trade room for helping me out there. Really appreciate it. All right, so here's your retest. I'm long that FBB again, and Izzy. But again, so this should not be coming back here much, right? As far as the thesis, if I can find the damn chart now. I don't usually take FBBs in this circumstance. I even put this in my room a little bit ago. Somebody was asking about it, right? You don't want to see. I want to take as it's moving through here, right, with a volume event that's bullish. You don't want to see it coming back to put on an event, but I took it. It should not come back through here. If it does, it's probably coming all the way back down here. But we'll see. Again, these are just guesses, guys. My thesis, my view of the market is just a guess. I use the real-time volume to tell me what to do, right? So anyway, I'm long that. If it comes back, it comes back. If it does come back, actually, we have a couple other strategies here. Red rum. This is an exponential moving average ribbon. We call it algo guide. So many algos trade off of this. Anyway, one of the important areas is the longer-term red ribbon time periods. These are longer-term. The blues are shorter-term. When the blue is above the red, it's bullish. When it's below, it's bearish. We have a trade for when the market comes into this, and you get a volume event. I got nat gas numbers coming on right now. So I should already be long this because this is an aggressive entry. So this one is called red rum. Red rum. Where is that? Right here. Take fade trades in an algo guy red ribbon. Stop ice events have to be either icebergs that are in the direction algo guy, meaning in this case buy ice, or stop run fades. This is a dumb and dumber, dumb money puke, right? So if this comes back out of here, I will take that long, 52. Otherwise, I will stop out of my longs that I have on here at 63.18. If I get stopped out of these, it's telling me something bigger picture too. So let's see what happens here. 63.18. So guys, again, trading is probabilities, right? If you have an edge, you just keep putting on the trade. You don't know which ones are going to work, which ones aren't. So you put them all on. I will get into my trading in the zone rant at some point in this webinar. All right, I'm still long gold here too. Of course, at the time, stop to the exact tick. This happens to me 10 times a day, and I'm not exaggerating. It's incredible. Right there, stop to the tick. I mean, you can ask my room. They're about to take me away. Hey, we got a first equity event since the pre-market. NASDAQ. Anyway, they're going to put me away for how many times I get stopped out to the tick. Literally. All right, so this is a sexy Gexy here. As long as there's not heavy relative volume coming in, and there's not. So I'm going to jump. This is one of my few trades that I jump in right in the middle of the zone or just outside it. So I'm taking it into this Gex level. Why? Well, because I know dealers are going to be hedging here. There's not a question. They have to hedge, right? They're not positional traders. Then I have what usually is an opposing volume event. Stop runs are just guys puking. So this is one of the few that I jump in right in the middle of the zone. Stops up here. And then we'll see where we have position trading wise. And you know, if you don't take the sexy gexies, then you can potentially take reversion trades here too. Back in blacks, right? So say it tags these 3 or 2 of these gex levels, starts coming back. There's the 1 ATR. Take it back to the zone. So we'll see what happens here. As far as my trading strategies, aka important areas, where are we? Really no Izzy. This is a failed balance breakout though, which is not going to be good for that sexy gexy short. That's a balance that tried to break down. Here, got through the high volume node, first event. Take that long. Might as well take a double size. Markets never, ever, ever go down, so I will take that one. So where I'll stop out of this gexy is where I'll take the FBB long. I'm going to take a double size right here. Here's your entry. Again, I'm forcing this market to push all the way outside of an ATR. The current ATR is 28, which actually isn't bad in here for nothing going on so far as volume events. And I'm actually going to put it above this. In this case, it was just already above this stuff, but I try not to enter into these gex levels. So if this does stop me out of this gexy short, I'm going to put on fail balance breakout long, double size. The entry point is 2404 right there. See where it says long aggressive? And I could put on 3 micros based risking $500. My thesis based on that fail balance breakdown is very bullish as usual in this market, so I'll put on 6 if it comes up there. So I'm going to get that set up so I don't forget, which I'm sure I will. I got the price, 24,004. All right, so that's working. So for the sexy gexy, the way I trade them is because I'm looking for a dealer reaction right away, right? So I'm not looking for like some huge position trade for the whole amount. So if these dealers do react here and this area holds, I'm getting out of half. Usually where I take the ATR reversion, which I will take that too, by the way. We'll watch what happens here, but I'm going to get out of half of these shorts there. Then I let half ride because it is a volume event, and that's the driver of my position trading where I'm looking for bigger moves. So I'll get out of half there if it comes back. If not, if I stop out, I'm going to go long FBB. And say it fails here, comes up here and can't get through here, I'll take a reversion trade back to the zone too. So again, different strategies. So if you come in my room or you get the course is, it's not to take every single one of these right off the bat. There's no way. These are my trading strategies over 25 years, right? I can put them all on because they're my strategies. For someone who's new, I hear all the time, when I watch you, it's like drinking out of a fire hose. Well, yeah, because I'm trading live. I'm trading multiple markets, multiple strategies. If you want to follow my methodology and trade my methodology, then you come in here and you pick a couple of these and you get really good at them. Then when you feel that you're proficient and you're profitable, then you add another one. You add another one. Over a year's time, you can have probably 5 to 10 strategies you're looking for, right? So that's for the position trading. And then this is one of the auto fades I just put on, sexy gexy. Take any fade trade into a spot gamma mentor Q level. Trade is taken immediately when opposing stop iceberg events. So this was buy stops into those, right? Be wary of this trade if the rel vol is elevated. That's what I was talking about earlier, because the big money's coming in. Yes, the dealers are hedging, but it doesn't mean that it's gonna stop there because of the dealers. Most of the time it does. That's why most of the time it's an edge, right? So, and then here's the reversion trades. So I'll take it back in black. We already took the A+. That was not an A+. It was F+, because I got trumped. And it still, by the way, hasn't tagged a tick above where I stepped out, by the way. This is really fun to do. You can see where it stopped. I just pick the perfect prices every time. I'm like a savant. It's just me bitching, sorry. All right. So what other areas could we possibly trade here off of this event? So first, this is a dada. It's a dada. So it's all the requirement. If this event turns bearish, put on a dada trade. What's a dada trade? Dada. Where you at, dada? Right here. Dumb and Dumber, which we got. Opposite delta trade, meaning cumulative volume delta, or cumulative volume delta, I'll go over that in a second, at extreme standard deviation of VWAP, right? So we have all the requirements to put this trade on. I don't put it on in the middle of the zone. If it comes out and proves to be a bearish event, aka ATR plus, then I put it on. So I will show you what that is, right? So we have all the ingredients if this event turns bearish. I don't judge it until it moves an ATR out of the zone. Extreme standard deviation of VWAP. Here's VWAP. Here's daily value area. That's 1 standard deviation of VWAP. Here's 1.5. Here's 2. So you already have these algos that love to snap it back, revert it to the mean, aka VWAP. So you got those guys behind you. Then you have a diverging delta. So we're making highs and the delta is not. What's delta? It's just showing you who the aggressor in the market is, market order aggressor, right? So right now, as this market's moving higher, there's more hitting of bids than taking of the offers. Well, how could that be? Because as they're, how could the market be moving higher? Because the market's moving higher from passive buyers, meaning they're not necessarily taking bids, or I'm sorry, taking offers. They just keep putting in bids. So someone keeps hitting the bid, and they just keep refreshing it. So, and then they'll put in another passive order, So it's moving higher. Yes, sellers are hitting the bid up here, but someone keeps putting in passively. I don't trade CVD by itself because it's not a red light, green light type of thing. But in certain areas, I will trade it. So this is telling me the sellers are being more aggressive with market orders as this is making high. Does this mean this is going to turn around right now? Though this can go another 300 points, but I have all my ingredients. So you have a CVD. So this is the divergence. So this has been diverging this entire time. So you go short right here. You're like, oh, look at that divergence. I'm going short. Yeah, you already got almost 200 points up your wazoo, right? So that's why it's not red light, green light. If I get this in an area, extreme standard deviation with a volume event, then I take it, right? If this proves bearish. So now I've got 2 different trades, 2 different strategies, 3 different strategies. I have Sexy Gexy short on right now, where I'll get out of half there. We have the fail balance breakout long if it moves out of here and proves to be a long setup. If it proves to be a short setup, then I'm taking the dead. That entry is, and then you got to use some judgment here too. If you're using these Gex levels, these are Mentor Q. I got Mentor Q and Spot Gamma. Highly recommend both. Guys, you've got to understand this stuff. You've got to be watching this stuff. It's running the show in the markets. I'll just show you the ES today. It's moving with the real-time options flow. 90% of the trade, 85 to 90% of the trade are algos and options dealers. You might want to know what they're doing, right? So anyway, if I do, this looks like it might throw me there for my long, but if it did come down here, you got to use some judgment. Do I want to enter right where I know dealers are going to be hedging? But then you got to say, do I really want to move it down another 20 points to enter? So we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. This might not even turn out to be a bearish event as it's trying to move up higher here. I will put on a reversion here too, a back in black if it comes up here. See if I can lose everything on the short side. I'm sure Trump's still talking too. Fed Muslin's still talking. A half-point cut is not supported by the state of economy or the data. So how is that bullish? Again, guys, that's why you can't trade the news, right? You got to take it up the wazoo, like I said, when they're talking, but you can't trade the news. Like, you just trade what the market's telling you as far as volume. You don't trade the news.
CL just well.
All right, stopped out of CL. So that's, again, stops are information too a lot of times, right? This market should not be coming back here. So I stopped out of the ISI and FBB. There's nothing to do yet, and it's still not quite like it shouldn't be getting back through there. It's trying right now, right? So if I get a bearish event, then I'm not going to trade double size here, but if it comes back and overtakes that, then I'm really going to trade double size shorts. Right now it's it's probably going to chop around in here. But again, when you're trading, guys, it's not, you're not staring at your P&L. It's whether you took the trade properly based on your strategies, aka probabilities. Again, I already talked about that FBB. That's not the best way to take them coming back, but I had that, and then ISI took them, stopped out of the next trade. That's what trading is. So just to reassure anyone who took that trade and yelling at me right now, and this is not a webinar to be mirroring my trades, unless you're mirroring my trades. There's a hero alert, by the way, so that's good for my short. I'll get into this rant in a second. But anyway, you're not supposed to be mirroring my trades. I know so many traders just want to get on and trade, mind-numbing blindness and just whatever a guy says they throw in a trade, which is the dumbest thing you could possibly do. You're never going to make it as a trader trading what someone else is telling you what to do. If you understand my rules behind my trading, then yeah, you should be putting on the same trade. You should have been long crude there if you're a crude trader. You lost, on the next trade. I will do this briefly. Why? Because the 5 truths. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. Like being in a trade and Trump says something. You don't need to know, and this is straight out of Trading in the Zone, by the way, by Mark Douglas. And I added, or do you know what is going to happen next in order to make money? Because you don't know. If you did know, you would be on my favorite quote is, deserted island with Billy Ray Valentine sipping Mai Tais. There is a random distribution between wins and losses for any given set of variables that define an edge. Random distribution. An edge is nothing more than an indication of a higher probability of one thing happening over another. So there was a very high probability on these trades. They were going to work. They didn't. Big deal. I take 100 of them, 70 of them will work from my experience with these things. That's what an edge is. You don't have to be 70. You can be 50. You can be 40 and make money. 30 if your risk reward is good, your RR. But the point is, guys, trading is not every trade's a winner. Trading is not you're going to make a set amount every day. Like I get this all the time. What do I need to do to make $500 a day? You're never going to make $500 a day like you're punching in for a job. You can average $500 a day, but you're never going to make $500 a day, especially in these markets, this environment. Speaking of which, this is just delightful, because this is the one thing that, I could trade another 50 years and I still will never be able to process how I am the exact high tick on these, or the exact tick on these stop outs. Anyway, I had that reversion working. You got a new event here anyway now, but I would have been out. So this is a little educational thing. So say I didn't get stopped out to the tick like I always do, right? Say it held and it came back. If I'm waiting for the reversion to this zone and I get a new event, I'm out of the trade. I don't hope it gets to this event now with a new event, but you do have a new event. I am long Izzy gold. Now I can trail my stop. This is how I trail my stops, based on something in the market, not my self-imposed, I don't want to give back my profit, right? So my stop for this Izzy that I took, what was that? ONG. It was down. All right, we're getting hero alerts. Anyway, it was down here. We have a new event. Now I can move it up to there. I don't want to stop out right in the middle of that, so I'll move it just below there. So my stop will be right around 33.82 for that Izzy long if it comes back. All right, what is going on with it? We're getting hero alerts, so this should turn around. Let's see. So the way this works, we have a trade for this. I guess I could put on a Floby here. So what's a Floby? This is one of the other auto entry trades where I'll jump in right in the middle of the zone. It doesn't have to happen right away, meaning, so you can see here, this is the F. And by the way, look at the ES here. I guarantee I don't even have to look at it to tell you it's doing exactly what the hero's doing. Right now, there is nothing going on in these markets except for algo whipsaw and options dealer flow. Right? So this is, you'll see here. Tell me if this looks like this. It's just, you have to understand this stuff if you want to compete in today's market. You have to know what's going on. This moves just like a market. You're not trading off this, but you need to know, like, especially when it moves notionally. Actually, that's the equities. Let's see. We did get the flow alert in equities. This is the main one. This is all combined. This is doing the same thing, and we're getting a flow alert too in here, I think. I know there was one earlier. But anyway, this market is doing exactly what this thing's doing. Why? Because the dealers get loaded up. They have to hedge with futures. So it would behoove you to understand. I guarantee you, if when I break this, I spread this out, it is doing exactly what that's doing. I just can't get it positioned on my chart well enough here. And I'll even show you the times here too. Watch. So like this one turned around at 8:53 my time. There was a hero alert here too, by the way, at the time. What's this? Oh, look at that. A minute and a half before. Flow alert, turned around. That was this blip. I'm sorry, this blip right there. Blipped again here at 920 or 1020 on this chart. Let's see. Hey, look at that. Would that be 1020? Right there. Market follows. Guys, this is, I'm telling you, this is like the main driver of the markets nowadays, right? And headlines and algo headlines. But the point is, it moves like a market. You want to pay attention to, like the other day. Here's a good example. Like the Gexies all got blown out this day. Hero was plus 9 billion. 9 billion. I'll show you. So the point is, like, in days like that, you probably don't want to be shorting the market because the options flow is overriding everything. Let's see.
NQ1 validated.
All right, stopped out of that Gexy. But I am long FBB now, which is scaring me because of the hero alerts, but a lot of stop outs so far. I wonder if that's going to be the tick. At least I got through there a couple ticks, so I'm not completely mentioned. So I took the FBB long. So that is, I took the Gexy. So this is one of the trades that I will take in the zone. It's not the best. Again, that's why I usually wait for this. Remember I was talking about putting on the short, position trading short? I never put that on because this never proved to be a bearish event. So anyway, I'll pull up that chart here in a second. The day that the hero was ridiculously high, none of these events, I kept getting running over like Gexies like this, but none of my position trading events to the short side ever even materialized because none of the events would push an ATR below. So it kept me out of trouble for my position trading. Hold on, what day was that? It was Tuesday, right? Yeah, I didn't get the screenshot of the Mag 7 because I did it later in the night, but you can see here, I mean, of the S&P complex. Hold on. That was this day here. So everything was getting like well, there wasn't a ton of events here. I'll show you NASDAQ here in a second, right? But Hero was, this wasn't the, I'm talking about the S&P 500 complex. This is just showing the Mag 7. S&P was like plus 9 billion. And even, you know, as the day, right away, right off the bat, right off the open, it was plus 3 billion, right? So you want to pay attention because on those days, you're not going to get much of a pullback. If the dealers are getting loaded up with billions and billions and billions, they have to hedge with futures. This is what NASDAQ looked like. Let's see here. Trump's still talking. Trump's still talking. He's always talking. This was NASDAQ, right? So all these Gexies got just pummeled, like kind of like the one I just got pummeled on there. All right. So this was the equities. Again, I did this later at night, and this already resetted. But anyway, blew through, blew through, blew through. I was taking these Gexies. I never took any position trading shorts because none of these were able to pull back in ATR, and that's why. So anyway, hey, well, I can't believe that was one of the high ticks of the. All right, so I got to make a decision here. I might take this back in black here, reversion, especially with the hero flow. I'm gonna give this one shot back, coming back. So I am long the FBB. I just took the back in black reversion. It kind of went through these already. So again, my back in black reversions when I wait for it to tag something important, hold and come back. All right, I took that, and I think the hero alert is going to help me. When you get a hero alert, by the way, it's when you get the there's huge options activity, and the market usually reverses once the hero flattens out. So this hopefully will come back here. So again, use some judgment here too. See where my exit is? It's right in front of the zone. You know, you can put it right above the GEX level because the dealers are going to be hedging when it comes back there, like I've been talking about. Let's see if we can get an actual winner on. That'd be cool. So this is the second one, by the way, that I've basically been stopped to the tick. This one I can't really say to the tick, but I mean, it's just incredible how these prices, if you start trading the Scott zones, you will be amazed at how these prices are so exact. It's nuts. All right, so anyway, I did take the FBB long, so I got the reversion trade short on, play back to the zone. I'm out. The best thing closest to a scalp that I know of these days. I put on the FBB long, fail balance breakout, stops all the way down here, and I'll move it below there. And remember, I was working a short as well. If it came down here, well, that's canceled now because this validated as a long setup. So I can't put that trade on now. And thesis-wise, what do we talk about? This market should not come back much if it's really going to be fail balance breakout. What should happen? It should do that again, like it always does. This comes back again, I'd say line in the sands, 23, 9, 10-ish. Just say 23.9. Any events I get below 23.9 that are bearish, I'm taking double size. There's not a lot of structure here. This thing can easily retrace to that and hopefully down to 0 by the end of the day. That would be great. In the meantime, if this does retest, I got other trades I can put on. Bark and lick. What's bark and lick? Well, first of all, algo guy's bullish, as you can see. You can see how this bounces off. This is why we have trades in these areas. All right? When the market moves into these, you get a volume event, you take them. I didn't have one in here, but I'm just showing you these areas. That's why I think they're important, and I trade them. Anyway, if this does retest, ATR, retest, confirm, I can put on a bark and a lick. What's a bark? Blind, meaning, I've been showing you all day, I look for these volume events in my important areas, right? Well, the edge is inherent in these volume events, so I want to trade them regardless. So as long as they follow the pattern of tagging the ATR, coming back to the zone, moving back out, ATR plus, I will take that trade regardless of what area we're in. That's called the bark trade. The only filter I have for that is algo guy's got to be in my favor, which it is. So if this does retest, comes back out, I will take a bark and a lick long. In my lick trades, I haven't put on any winners to get out of anything yet. But as the market makes some money available to me, I get out. GEX levels, market profile composites, Izzy zones, things like that. The lick trade, I'm holding until it gets to the lick, and that's the biggest lick up here. So I would hold that trade until it gets to the liquidity. Let's see what else we got here, where we're at. Oh, that was the dad trade I was going to put on, so I can't put that on now, but if I get another stop run, I could. Hasn't been one event in, yes. And by the way, if you guys have got questions, throw them in YouTube, because that's where I see them. Do I still have my discount going for spot gamma? Yes, guys, just go to this flip book. Everything is in this flip book. So flip to the page where you see spot gamma. Here's the discounts to Bookmap. Here's your SI indicator that you need, the MBO bundle. Hey, look at that, spot gamma. Click on that. Use SCOT 50. There's your discount. Mentor Q. I'm just kind of messing with you there, test channel. It's a legitimate question. Mentor Q, all those options. What's great about it, Mentor Q, you get them for every market. So you're getting for all the futures market, not just equities that spot gamma currently has. There you go. There's your retest. Hey, we got a winner. Yay. All right. So something to note there, right? One, it held these levels. Two, it even helped it more with that hero went off. It did move a little higher, of course, just to fill me to the tick on my long, but it did come back. That helped it. I don't need hero alerts to take the reversion trades. Obviously, they happen all day, every day across markets. I literally can show you 20 of them right now from today. But the point is that this helps it, right? You know the dealers are going to be hedging there, and then as it comes back, you take the corresponding ATRs. So out of that, and here's your ATR retest. Now, if this comes back out of here again, I'm going to take the bark and the lick, and I'm going to take them double size based on my thesis. So that entry, if this comes back, is 1/4. Feels good to put on a winner. So I think Monday started like this too, and again, it's probabilities. You keep putting on the trade, and it turned out to be a good day. Another trader made a trade and said the same thing. You got it. So you stop I go over this every day, right? Like, this is what your P&L is going to look like most days, just like a chart, back and forth, back and forth. Make a little, lose a little, make a little. Then you have a huge day. Then you're back to this. Then you have another huge day. You never have the huge losing day because you stop yourself. So a rule of thumb is you should only be risking 1.5% to 2% on every trade, and that's what's built into this. Based on it's not. I'm risking higher on these Apex accounts. I do have live accounts, and I'm going to be fully back for all these accounts here. Hopefully, I'm supposed to be this week, next week. So I got a buddy of mine that's putting 25 grand behind every strategy. So he's putting up 250 grand to trade them. But the point is, you shouldn't be risking like real money. Like once those things are operational, I'm risking 2% of 25 grand. So the same amount, $500. But the point is you shouldn't be risking more than 1.5 to 2% on any trade that you take, right? And then for your daily loss limit, it should not be more than 5 to 6%. That means you could basically put, if you're risking 2%, you could put on 3 losing trades and you're done for the day, at least for that particular strategy, right? That is tied to that account. That's why your P&L looks like this, and you never have one of these because you stop yourself. Because you will have one of these one of the days if you keep trading, and then you get pissed off, and then you say, oh, what the hell, I already lost 10% of my account, what's the difference now? And then you look back and you're going to bed that night and you're saying to yourself, what the hell did I just do? I just lost 80% of my account for being a moron. There's always another day, guys, always. You all know my story of Trump is still talking. As this is the new normal, man. It's just, again, I'm getting whipsawed out of these trades. At least this whipsaw work, but it sucks. All right, so that comes down. My stop. Actually, I got to put my stop in. I'm gonna put my stop below this stuff for this FBB. This is brutal. This is how it works, guys. You got it. He's talking. All bets are off. Smart people just sit out. I'm doing a live trading webinar, and plus, even if I wasn't doing a live trading webinar, I'd still put these trades on. It's like, again, it's the new norm. He talks nonstop. There's always somebody talking. There's always some tariff headline. You just got to hope it's not against you. Like, look at this. It's totally reacting to what he's saying. You can always tell by the speed of the market, too. The more you watch these, the more experience you get with them. When you really, not just moves, but how fast it's actually moving, you can tell it's reacting to something he said. By the way, I am still short the Russell. I call it the Russell. Still short that FBB and Russell. See how it keeps responding. I wonder why it keeps responding to this volume event. Oh, because it's the most powerful thing you can use in trading. Anyway, I'm still short that. But this is headline roulette right now with Trump talking. So there's nothing for me to do anymore. It already, I don't take this reversion back. Once it reverts to the zone, I'm done with it. So we caught that out. There hasn't been a single event in ES for feels like months. But here's a great example, guys, of that. I didn't put on a Floby here because we didn't get an event up at the high there. This is what it does, right? You heard that alert. As soon as this kind of starts to level out, the market turns over. Here was one earlier, right? The market turned over a little bit. So again, you need to understand and know when this stuff is happening because it's what drives markets most of the days.
And G1 validated.
Let's see if you guys got any questions here. The data feeds for the crypto all combined, or are they still separate book maps that we're going to combine them for you? No, I mean, I'm not looking at crypto. I'm looking for the SI events, and there were plenty today. See Bitcoin. Or sell ICE earlier. How'd that work out? So again, I mean, I don't trade it almost ever. I did have a trade working. I was going to take an A+ reversion, and then it already did it. So this is what I'm talking about, guys. It happens, and no matter what market you're watching, it's the same stuff. So that one already reverted. I was going to put on the A+ reversion, the 3A ATR, with my stop above there. Anyway, this is what I'm talking about. You're a Bitcoin trader, right? And you're like, oh man, yeah, this is awesome. This thing just keeps going up. I'm just going to keep getting long, right? Wouldn't it behoove you to know that somebody big is selling this? And again, this is per example. This was only 64 icebergs in here. You would think, what? That's nothing. My threshold for Bitcoin futures is 25. So this did mean something, and look what the market did off of it, right? So my point is, if you are long Bitcoin and you're watching this, which you should be, you're like, oh crap, somebody big selling. I'm gonna lighten up some of my Bitcoin here. Yeah, you just saved yourself like $1,000, right, or whatever the hell it came down to. So the point is, it happens in all the markets. This is Ethereum. That's the newest one. Look at all this size. So again, this doesn't even have to just be I day trade off this stuff, not usually this stuff. But first of all, I would probably just combine all this activity in one zone. That's another great thing about the zone drawing tool. It's in that flip book, right? And you get a discount to this thing as a member of my trade room. But I would just, oops, I didn't want to do that. I would just combine all these. Whoops. Let's see if I can figure this out. Let's just get all these together, right? You can do something like that. And then I would just, once you X out of these, they all combine. Something like that. That's just good to see for other markets too. You want to do that. You can get rid of all this stuff and just make it one big zone, right? But the point is, yeah, we day trade, but like I showed you in crude yesterday, right? All that buy ice came in, bigger picture stuff could be telling you something. This could be telling you something at these prices in Ethereum. Don't you think this is important information? If you were long right here at pretty much all-time highs for Ethereum, don't you want to know that somebody in here is majorly dumping with the sell ice? If you don't think that's important, then you're just in the wrong business, right? So if I'm long Ethereum, if this thing validates short, I'm getting out of some of my Ethereum, right? I'm talking bigger picture trading, like weeks and months and years or whatever you're doing. You can trade it short term too, but the point is, you want to know this. I just showed you in crude. Crude's been getting smoked, right? So for you people that came on late, oops. Right? I put this in yesterday for bigger picture stuff. This crude's been getting smoked for a week. Yesterday, buy ice, buy ice, buy ice, buy ice, buy ice, sell stop puke, down initiative buying or initiative selling. What do you know? It's up $2 today, right? So that was, and then this. So that was right around, that was a 62.20 low. That's down here. How's that? That's almost, that moved almost $2 full up. So meaning, if you are long Ethereum, you may want to lighten up. I'm not telling you it's going to go down for much longer. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. Again, if I knew it was going to happen, I would be on an island, right, sipping Mai Tais. But there's more right now. Just information, guys, that you need to know. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So yeah, you can get the Bitcoin. You can get the. Those are the main two that I watched for the futures. Then you can trade the futures. They got micros now, so you don't have to be, you don't have a lot of a margin. Make Michigan home. Scott, if I am brand new to watching you trade, what is the best place for me to start my learning process? If you're brand new, well, again, I'm going to post this again because it seems like people don't see this when I post it. That's why I made this. If you can't see it or it doesn't work, let me know too. The best place to start if you want to learn my methodology is the number one, the SI indicator course. Again, this explains the core of my trading. It's these 6 distinct events, right? So if you click on this, I think it says what they are on here. It doesn't say all the events, but it's 6 distinct events, right? So you want to know how to identify the events. That's the core of my trading. Once you know the events and how they work and the rules behind them, then you can move to the trading strategies, what I've been showing you all day, and the ATR reversion. If you're a scalp type of trader that can't stand to sit in trades, which is 98% of traders, then the ATR reversion course trade is for you, right? I trade both of them. But then you can get that. You definitely want the drawing tool. This is in the Bookmap Marketplace. This will help you. You can draw manually. I did it for 7 years. Go back and watch one of the 500 plus Bookmap webinars I've done, right? Live trading. I used to draw these things by hand. Now it draws it for you, right? So it's a huge, and it gives you the ATR, the entry, the exit, everything, the position sizing. So this zone drawing tool helps eliminate. I'm about to get stopped out of this failed balance breakout again too, by the way, because Trump's crushing me with his chirps today. This eliminates 90% of the why traders fail, right? Most traders think they have an edge, not sure, trade it for a week, doesn't work, on to the next edge. This is the best edge I've ever seen. If you're going to take my word for it, 25 years. I've been doing this for 8 years, trading these things. I have a trade room, many profitable traders. Again, if it didn't work, I wouldn't be around I've had this trade room for 5 years, and I've been trading this stuff for 8 years. So first of all, you don't have to worry about an edge. That shows you where the edge is, right there. Then the other problem traders have is like, okay, I want to be long. Well, where do I get long? Okay, I'm long. Where do I get short? I don't know where to get short. This tells you where you get long, where you get short. If you want to follow my rules that I've been watching these for 8 years. Then the other big mistake, the biggest mistake the traders make is they overtrade their account size-wise. So this helps you put in, you get the zone drawing tool and you can put in your risk, again, I'm risking 10% on these Apex trading. This is all about to change here next week when I have every one of these strategies live, right? The Apex, you can be a little more aggressive, and I'll get an Apex too. You want to get that type of thing so you can practice this stuff. Practice, not a game, practice this stuff. So you're not risking your own money. There's no reason, even though I'm telling you this is the best edge I've ever seen, it's going to take you probably some time to understand what's going on and be proficient with it. So why would you want to risk your own money right away, right? If you get something, and segue into this stuff. Hey, is that in the flip book? Yeah, I think it is. Let's see. Oh, yeah, there it is. You get Apex. They got an 80% sale off all these accounts, right? You get one of these accounts for a fraction of what you'd be risking, right? You go all the way down here, and there's awesome scrolling thing here. Here's Rhythmic, and here's Trade of 8. Those are the ones I use. So for this one, before it scrolls off, you got to make $9 grand before you lose 5. It costs $397. When you take 80% off, it's like $59. So you're really risking $59. If you blow it out of the account, you're not losing $5 grand. You're losing $59, right? And if you do well, now you're funded anyway. So if you're learning anything new, I highly recommend. The best analogy is if you're learning how to fly, do you get in a fighter jet and just take off? No. Why? Because you'll crash and die. If you just start trading with your real money, you're probably going to crash and die. There are very few that can take off right away. Right, so I'm sure there's some savant that can get in a plane and take off. Oh, by the way, just to show you again, this has happened like 4 times already on this webinar. Filled to the tick on this on my crude loans. It's guys, I'm telling you, I am literally about to be put away like for life. How many could any like a human being? How many times could they watch that a day and not like? I always joke there's a camera in my office. Like, I literally think there's a camera in my office. Like, look at that. This is where I filled in that one. You saw the gold one earlier. It's nuts. Like, I can't get over it. 25 years I've been watching markets, and I just can't process this. Here you go. Here's gold to the tick, back to the zone. Like, it's nuts. I can't. I know that it's these prices. I know that's the prices we're using, but holy crap, you got to be kidding me. So anyway, I stopped out of that tick. There is something to be said that what I may want to start doing here is I just hate entering trades again, right? Like, I don't want to get back in because every time I'm like, okay, I got stopped out of the tick. Okay, I'll get back in. And it comes back, stops me out again. Or, you know what I'm saying? I got to get better at that, entering them, because all I say is how many times I get stopped at the tick. Well, it probably makes sense to get back in the trade. Another thing you can do is what I've been contemplating, but I know the minute I do this, it's going to run right through these areas, right? Is just be eyeball, because a lot of these trades I can't eyeball, right? And wait for a second and see if it trades through it, right? We got bias here. I'm going to put these back on. I cannot believe how many times this happens to me. Cannot believe it. Wait, maybe I didn't stop out. I stopped out of one of them. I stopped out of I don't know how I didn't stop out of the other one. Must have put it in the wrong spot. All right, so I didn't stop out of the IZZY. I stopped out of the FBB. I'm going to put it back on here. And why I'm doing this too is because we got a new event here too, so now I can trail my stop to that. Where's the stop? Oh, come on, I can't see the stop here. Hold on. Yeah, stop's right here now, right? So I can, and I'm not going to step out in this prior amount. I'm over just below. So I'm putting this back on. I actually never got stopped out of the IZZY, so this is just incredible. If you come in my room, you can that's why one of the graces of the trading live thing is because I've been watching this stuff for years of me getting stopped to the tick, and this didn't even trade here because I'm trading micros, that's why. But at least it's public, like people can see that I'm not like full of shit, pardon my language, right? It's unbelievable how many times a day that happens. Anyway, I put that back on. Crude still looks very bullish. And you know what I'm going to do here is, so I can't technically take a bark and lick off of this because it did tag the ATR both ways, so this zone's dead. But if this goes ATR retest confirm, I'm going to put on bark and licks long, and I'm putting those double size on too. This is all back to that original thesis that we talked about in the beginning of the morning, right? Mm-hmm. This market should be ripping. It's probably going to have some trouble with this guy, so you want to keep a close eye, especially where this broke down from the other day. Why? Because there's trap traders here. They want the hell out when it comes back. But if it rips through that guy, then this is coming back to all this stuff. But so, I mean, I think I'm clear pretty much to where this broke down. So this is another 100, and it's actually only 50 ticks away. So keep an eye on that area, but I'll still trade them. Actually, I won't trade. I'm not going to trade double size. I'll still put on bark and lick because of that. I didn't realize how close we were to the high volume node of that balance. So if it does that. I will put on bark and licks like I'm supposed to, but I'm not going to trade double size. If it gets through that second one that I just showed you, this one, then I'm going to be trading double size, any longs. Again, this is me with my guess, my thesis. If it gets through that, any events, that's a major balance fail breakdown. Then I'm going to trade double size. And again, it's just a guess of what I think is happening, a thesis. If I get the real-time events in the direction, that's when I go for the throw. Make Michigan home. Did that help answer your question? Let me know. Ronald just bought Bookmap. Why so many people call it Bookmaps? I think it's funny. And started using it today. How come it is not popular as other tools? I have no idea. It's actually probably better for us that it's not. Again, guys, most of you know my story, right? I was a multi-million-dollar trader. I got knocked out of the business. Couldn't make a dollar because the algos took over. Literally had to leave the business 2013 because then go do medical sales and sit in doctors' offices and kiss their ass to try to sell stuff to them because I couldn't make money trading anymore. Dr. Brett Steenbarger, who's probably the top trading psychologist on the planet now, literally called me. Right, so if you go to my website, you can see his books. You guys should all know who he is if you're a trader. It's on the back page here, I think. Yeah. So you go to my website, right here. So this guy called me because he sat behind me when he wrote this book. Actually, he sat behind me for like 6 months, or I think it was 6 months or a year. He asked if he can sit and see what made me elite. And I said, at the time, I'm like, sure. So anyway, he calls me, knew I was out of trading, and said, hey, you might want to check out this Bookmap program. It reminds me of when I sat behind you, how you viewed the market. And the minute I saw this thing, and this is way before the Stop Iceberg information, I'm like, I'm back. Like, this is how I have to see markets to compete, right? So I started getting back in it. And I wasn't even going to trade futures because I was so jaded from being a multi-million-dollar trader in these markets and losing it all. And I mean, not really losing it all, but I couldn't make money anymore. I didn't want to trade futures. By the way, look at the hero here. Look, hey, what do you know? I can't believe it's following the exact dealer activity, options dealer activity. Huh? That must be a coincidence. No, it's not actually. So anyway, I forgot what I was saying. So he sat behind me, and he said, he called me and said, you want to check out this Bookmap? So again, I checked it out, and then for months, Bruce, that I met from Bookmap, who's still at Bookmap, their main guy, he kept telling me about the Stop Iceberg information that CME, again, all you got to do is Google, I'll show you right here, you can read all about it, CME MBO data, right? They came out with this, I think, 2017-ish market by order data. That's the enhanced data, right? Client benefits, you see the full depth of book. So if you're not using the MBO data, when you see in your order book outside of 10 prices up and down is fake. It's not real. It's not really there. I mean, there could be some of it there, but you know what I mean? You can know your Q position if you're trading that way. It's things like that. But most important, iceberg order IDs and stop run order IDs. That's what makes this information, and Bookmap developers found a way to disseminate the information and draw it on the subchart. Then my developer found a way to take it from the subchart and draw it on the on-chart. By the way, I'm still short here, Mr. Russell. Just taking a sweet old time to get smushed. I should actually be short barking lick here too. Why am I not short barking lick here? I don't want to chase this. I rarely chase it, but what is this, 15? Nah, it's 25 ticks. So again, this is the pattern. ATR, retest, confirm. It's done it a couple times, by the way. We have a trade for, I don't want to get you guys confused, but when a market continues to tag the ATR below and cannot go, when it gets back above the zone, you can jump on it right when it breaks the zone. It's called hot knife through butter. Has not happened yet, but that's a potential. So anyway, when I saw this, I knew I was back. And why more traders don't use it, I don't know, guys. I don't really care. It's the most powerful thing I've ever seen in my life, my trading life. And if they're not using it, guess what? What does that mean? That means you have an edge over them, right? And guess what trading is? It's a zero-sum game. What's a zero-sum game? Someone wins, someone loses. When you're winning, somebody else is losing. That's what zero-sum game means. So you should be happy people don't know about it, right? Mashi Trade, I subscribe to for pro version Scott's own impersonation SI indicator and ATR version course. Best investment ever made. Thank you, Mashi. Hey, I actually got a compliment here since instead of people ripping me saying they can't follow my trading and blah blah blah. And this was a good one too. I'll just show this real quick because it just shows you what jackasses people are. And I hope he's on this webinar watching too. This was the quote the other. So guys, I'm posting this stuff like, yeah, I'm an educator and I want you guys to come to my trailer and stuff, but I'm doing this to help you guys. So I posted this the other day. Was it the lucky guess one? This was, by the way, this was soybeans, just insanity. This has happened like 4 straight times, by the way. This one was 1 minute before the grain report by ICE. Hey, look, whoa, wow, how do they know to do that? Oh, because somebody knows the information before it comes out. Anyway, well, that wasn't it. This guy said the better the information, the luckier I get, right? The information is supposed to be public. What we wanted to show you guys is this. Let's see, which one was it? I just want something with Spot Gamma because they responded. Oh, by the way, that's tomorrow, guys. Go to his channel. You can watch me trade. I'm excited to trade live with him because I want to see how he trades the VWAP stuff. I don't trade VWAP like as far as my except for extreme standard deviations. I don't trade VWAP. Not like he does anyway. Hold on, just trying to find this for you so I can make fun of this guy. Oh, right here. This guy here. Should point out, so I caught that this was a sexy Gexy. See the one I lost on earlier? By the way, this is why you keep taking trades, because this one worked awesome. That the one I took today didn't. Big deal. On to the next trade. Anyway, this guy should point out that his end of day Gex futures levels, yeah, they're still extremely important, as you can see by that one. Then he goes, and nice work. You found an incredibly rare occasion iceberg information is useful for intraday trading. Intraday trading. Yeah, except for the 500 times a day that it works. Moron. I hope you're on this webinar too. So it's like I post stuff to help traders, and then that's the kind of stuff I get. Sorry, I got on that tangent. My point is, thank you for the compliment there, Mawashi. Sorry, I get a little carried away on that stuff. I gotta get better at let stuff roll off my back. I gotta laugh at my Iverson joke. Wow, this webinar is just happening, except for the 5 losers I've taken. We did have 1 winner, and I'm still short Russell. And I didn't get stopped out of that Izzy trading crude, so I still got that guy going for me, which is nice. Movie. Tell me the movie and I'll give you a discount. You got 5 seconds. Give you a discount to my courses. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Too late. Caddyshack. Chris Swope deleted. Chris Swope, are you the one? Actually, I think you're the guy. Hold on here. You might get a little verbal lashing here, even though you don't really know what you're doing. But I want to point something out. I think it was you. You had contacted Bookmap support yesterday because they contacted us. Hold on. Yes, it was you. So I'll even show you this, right? So this shows you guys we are on top of this stuff. I mean, Bookmap support handles most of the stuff. Chris Swope asking why there was an event drawn on a sell bubble. Guys, the sell bubbles don't mean, they're market orders. That has nothing to do with the stop iceberg information. So Chris, you got to understand what you're reading before, it's fine contacting support, but it's like make an effort to understand what you're looking at here, because it has nothing to do with the bubbles per se. Yeah, that's part of it. Market order fires off. It's obviously going to trigger this stuff, but just because you see a sell bubble, that has nothing to do with the stop iceberg information. Again, that's why I make the courses, guys, so you can understand that stuff. You don't have to have the course to get the iceberg, the zone drawer, but it's just to help you guys so you're not sitting there clueless. So hopefully Chris Swope heard that. I saw as he put something and retracted it. Van Weldon, could you review when sometimes on a reversion trade the algo guy needs to be in your favor and sometimes it does not? Seem a factor it does not need to be in my favor. Van Weldon, and you're in my trade room and you should know that. It does not have to be in my favor. I don't want to take reversion trades if algo guy's crossing, right? Like, say this crosses right now. Say this crosses, say I get an event, and I'm going to take a long reversion back to the zone. I won't take that if this is crossing. Why? Because these algos jump in on this exponential moving average cross. But no, it doesn't have anything to do with the reversion trade. You should know that. You've been in my room for months. So you're going to get an F and verbal lashing later, so I hope you're ready for that. Chris Webb, Scott, I know all your 16 strategies have an edge. Which 3 or 4 have the highest win rate? I mean, probably the top one is the slug and the I lug you, because I haven't even talked about these yet today. Again, this is in the, if you go to my, where's it at? Get out of this stuff. Ludwig levels right here. Go to her website. Of course, it's not. She still hasn't updated this thing. It's I made fun of her at first. Now you can't even get on it because of the security measures. I can't. You might be able to. Anyway, say you do the free 3-day trial and say you saw it on here, and you'll get special pricing. Anyway, that's the second most powerful thing I've ever seen in the Ludwig levels. These things right here. This where this is bounced 5 times today that I actually took a trade into, which I don't usually do. So yeah, like the main ones, the reversion trade's ridiculous. I mean, it happens all day, every day, especially back in blacks. A slug, and I lug you. So a slug is a stop run, opposing stop run, and a major lug, the red or the blue. And then, guys, I mean, we're gonna have real, like I'm gonna have my actual stats now with all these accounts live. It's been harder with the Apex stuff because it's like I'll be profitable on the accounts, and then I'll draw down. I'll still be profitable, but I'll blow out the account. That's happened about 80 times. Like here's a good example right here, like this one. So these are the current ones I have, right? And I've had probably 20 live ones, and that's the drawback of using these things, is because I've had literally 20 of them. Right now I have 2, right? Because it's like, you'll have one of these, so I use mostly the 150s, right? You got to make 9 grand before you lose 5. Well, you get live, like this one's live here, right? And then you go up 5 grand. If you pull back 5 grand, or just say I go up 8 grand. If I pull back 5 grand, I'm still up 3,000. I blow out of the account. Well, that's the drawback, right? That's like the rub of these things. Granted, when all is said and done, it's still incredibly, you guys, you have no idea what an advantage is to have this. I didn't have anything like this back when I started getting knocked out of the business. I had to trade my own money, and that never works when you have to make money to survive. It does not work. Anyway, you can see like right here, I blew this one out. This was the Izzy. I was profitable, but I pull back. See my peak value there? I pull back to 5. You're gonna have drawdowns, guys. That's trading, right? But the point is, you're profitable and you lose the account. So the stats, like if I just stopped running them. I used to bring these into TradingView, and by the way, we have a new, TraderSync. A guy in my trade room has developed the most incredible trading, he probably doesn't know what we're talking about, I won't say any names or anything, but the most incredible trading journaling site that I've ever seen, and it's all based on this stuff. So it's verbal too, so it's like, because that's the thing, especially with me, guys, I can't sit here all day, trade 500 trades, and then sit there and go in after the close and document, typing in a journal and screenshots. I mean, I just can't. I tried it. There's no way for me. So anyway, this journaling system will have a little microphone. You tag it, and you talk through your trade right when you do it. And then the AI stuff, it'll show you exactly what the chart looked like, what the bookmap chart looked like. It'll show you with the stop iceberg stuff, the relative volume, the ATR, the hero. It's going to be incredible. So more on that. I'm actually meeting with him today. It looks unbelievable. All right, so we just got stop runs in Russell. I'm still short this puppy from this morning. So now I can trail my stop, right? So my stop was way up here. And guys, this is why I put my stops where I put my stops. I didn't say, oh my God, this isn't going to go. I said, no, if I'm going to be wrong, it's got to come all the way back through all this activity and stop me out there. Never stopped out, new event, stop runs. Now I trail my stop to that. Then we have other trades brewing here. What do we have on, by the way? So I'm just long crude and short. Why do I have a gold on? So this is what I do too. I got to get my head out of my ass going to these live accounts. My buddy's backing because I have a trade on that I didn't even know I had on, and I forgot to cancel it in gold. Of course, it's a loser because they're all losers when you make mistakes. All right, we're hitting tick extremes too, so there's something bigger is going on here. Let's see. NASDAQ hit tick extreme. Dow or NYSE did not yet. Let's see what's going on here. Bigger picture.
RTY short validated.
All right, I'll be back here. So something bigger is going on. Let's see if there's someone's still talking. By the way, it's probably Trump. Yep. No, now it's Navarro. See what I mean, guys? It's just it is non-stop, non-stop. Did I mention it's non-stop? Look at it just does not stop. Fed guy, Trump, Navarro. It's just non-stop. Anyway, this was my mistake there. This was that I traded double size on that breaking away. Remember the hero alerts came in. So guys, that's another thing too. I haven't incorporated it yet, but I may say going forward, you know, see how I entered this? We took the reversion. Remember we were talking about the hero alert? I might say I'm not taking trades if the hero alert's going off. I'll wait. If I would have waited there, that was that hero alert that we talked about, I would have avoided that loss. So that's going to be implemented because I just got done saying how important this hero flow is. I could have avoided that long is what I'm saying. All right, so something, this is getting interesting too from a thesis perspective, right? What should have happened here? I already talked about this. This is the trade I took and got filled to the tick on the stop. This should be doing this. This should not be back here. Any shorts I get, I'm taking double-sized shorts for the rest of the day. Unless this is if-then scenarios. If this somehow recovers, which it probably will because it always does, it gets back above that guy, then I won't take double-sized shorts. But anything below here, I'm taking it. Not a lot of structure here either till down to this old stuff here, especially where this launched from. So this could be a whopper today. We'll see. I don't even have a trade on, but I'm just saying any shorts I get, I'm taking double size. I am short Russell, and I'm going to miss a reversion here. It looks like no. So this isn't this is what I'm talking about too for the reversions. You can take them aggressively. So if you're sitting here saying, well, I'm going to wait for it to bounce off GEX 6 and I'm going to take that back in black, Scott talked about. Great. Well, guess what? If it retests right now, it already retested. The back in black's not. It's not. You can't take it. See what I'm saying? I look for the first retest, and that's what's probably going to happen here because I am waiting for this. By the way, crude's finally going. So I put the FBB back on, and I never stopped out of the thing. I shouldn't have stopped out of anything because this is complete nonsense as usual. So that's going. Keep an eye on this. If this turns bullish, if we get a bark and lick, I'm taking bark and licks double size long there. All right, I got to get off. Nihal, you came in late. You email if you want. I'll give you 10% off of one of the courses if you email me because I just saw it. At least you participated. Anyway, Chris, what I was telling you, lugs, lug trades they're all powerful, or I wouldn't trade them. They all have an edge. And I know what you're saying. If you're going to start with your first 3 or 4, I would say if you want to be active, this works. It's not the highest win probably because they're all over the place and it's not even an important area per se. But lugs, IZZs, those are the zones I draw every day from my trade room. And picks are very powerful too. These are all powerful. I mean, but yeah, if you want to pick 2 or 3, I would say the slug and the I lug you. I lug you is when you get an iceberg at the Ludwig level. We call lug. These are more advanced where you got to be able to understand structure a little more. So I would save those for later. So lug, pick, and an IZZY is what I would start out with for your strategies. Hopefully that answers. A plus has high win rate, yes, because Craig said that. Yeah, that's why it's called A plus, except for the one I put on today. One yesterday worked awesome. Curious. Yep, Navarro talking about export control is shocking. Gulf's coming back through, shocking. Who says markets are manipulated? Unreal, these talking heads. Well, yeah, guys. I mean, but again, this is the new normal. It sucks. The guys are always manipulated. That's why the last 4 tweets I put out about when I say lucky guess, and some people just can't grasp my sarcasm. I'm being sarcastic. It's not a lucky guess. That's the whole point of the tweet, right? There's already 3 in here. This was soybeans. Someone came in 1 minute before the WASD number, right? Hey, well, look at that, 30 cents. 30 cents a soybean is like world ending. That's how big of a move that is. Another one. There was one in ES 2 days in a row. Just scroll down on my feeds here. If you go to my site, this one here. Back-to-back days. Right before the earnings, huge sell ice came in. Market got smoked the day before. Huge buy ice came in. Right here. Another lucky guess, buy iceberg. Here you go. Right before, literally 30 seconds before the number. Look at that. Look, I mean, guys, the thing is, you can bitch all day long. If you can't beat them, join them. If you see, this is 259 Central. You see this coming in, I got to start trading this. I don't trade it because I still get scared in the numbers that I'm going to get whipsawed out. But I mean, someone literally came in and bought 1,000 icebergs. And, oh, whoa, look at that. Coincidence? Not. So when I post that, I'm being sarcastic. I'm not, I'm not saying it's a lucky guess. But my point is, guys, if you see it, if you can't beat them, join them. If you see it, you can bitch about it or you can participate with them. See what I'm saying? You get me? Wow, look at this. This was not a reversion trade. What? Oh, yeah, it sure was. Right to the tech.
Stock by CL.
All right, crude's launching.
57 contract.
All right, I'm glad I got back in that. I stayed in one, so here you go. So now, and this is what it should be doing. I am watching these levels to get out of some. I got to get off this webinar here shortly, too, by the way. I'm watching these to get out of some, but I'm glad I put that back on, even though I got screw job stop that didn't even touch the price on one of the strategies. So, guys, this is a great example of the real-time volume event matching what I thought was going to happen, right? And by the way, here we are. So I'm going to be getting out of half, at least, probably 3/4 of these right here up into this level here. And I can trail my stop to this new event, and you can take A+ reversions if this happens. Event, entries in front of it, stops outside of it, take the reversion. You could take reversions this way. Be careful because it's probably, you don't want to take reversions if the relative value is spiking. But anyway, I'm going to get out of 3/4 up here. This is where this gap down, that's that big balance area. Worst case scenario is I can trail my stop. All right, any other questions? I got to hop off because I got another educator coming on. Guys, I do this every day for my trade room. Usually 2 times a day. The afternoons have sucked, but I think it's going to start picking up here, especially going into OPEX on Friday, tomorrow. And by the way, get on. That's going to be interesting that we're doing that. I'm doing that Austin ASFX webinar in OPEX. That should be really interesting. There's a delay on YouTube. All right, Nihal, just email me and I'll give you a discount. All right, that's it, guys. I do this every day. I gave you that flip book. It's everything I use in my training. It doesn't mean you need to get everything that I use. It's what I use. Get the basic stuff. You have to have Bookmap. You have to have the MBO data, the MBO add-on with the SI indicator, and then from there you can add stuff. All right, that's it. Join that webinar tomorrow. It should be interesting. I forgot it was OPEX, so it should be Whipsaw City, which should be great. Not. All right, I'll see you guys. Have a great week, and I'll see